You know Adolf Hitler from history books, but there are some really surprising things most people don't know about him. In today's video, we're counting down 10 mind-blowing things you didn't know about Adolf Hitler that will totally surprise you. Number 1. Hitler was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. In 1939, Adolf Hitler was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, which is an award given to people who promote peace. A Swedish politician named Eric Brandt put forward Hitler's name. But here's the crazy part, Brandt wasn't serious. He was making a sarcastic joke because he was totally against Hitler's beliefs. Not surprisingly, many people didn't find the joke funny, and the nomination was quickly withdrawn. Number 2. Hitler invented the blow-up doll. Believe it or not, Hitler came up with the idea of blow-up dolls. During World War II, German soldiers were getting sick from diseases they caught after spending time with prostitutes in France. To prevent this, Hitler decided to have inflatable dolls made for the soldiers to take with them. The idea was that the soldiers could use the dolls instead of visiting the prostitutes, but there's no real proof that this plan actually worked. Number 3. Hitler's first love was a Jewish girl. When Hitler was just 16 years old, he fell in love for the first time. The girl he loved was Jewish, but he was too shy to talk to her. Instead, he would just watch her from a distance. He even wrote her love poems, but he never had the courage to actually give them to her. Some people believe that Hitler was so heartbroken from this unreturned love that he thought about ending his life. It's strange to think that someone known for his hatred of Jewish people once had a crush on a Jewish girl. Number 4. Hitler led the first anti-smoking campaign. Even though it might sound surprising, Hitler really didn't like smoking. He was one of the first leaders to start an anti-smoking campaign in the world. During his time in power, he banned smoking on public transportation and made cigarettes more expensive by raising taxes. He even set up classes to teach soldiers about the dangers of smoking. While today we know smoking is bad for your health, it's odd to think that Hitler was one of the first people to fight against it. Number 5. Hitler was a vegetarian and made laws to protect animals. Here's something strange. Hitler was a vegetarian and loved animals. He even made laws to protect them. He passed rules about how animals should be treated, especially when they were transported or used in experiments. He also banned hunting and made it illegal to be cruel to animals. But here's the dark side. While Hitler cared so much about animals, he treated people, especially Jewish people, terribly. He replaced animals in experiments with humans, showing how twisted his thinking was. Number 6. Hitler was saved from drowning as a child. When Hitler was just 4 years old, he almost drowned. He was playing on a frozen lake when the ice cracked, and he fell into the freezing water. Luckily, a nearby priest who was around the same age saw what happened and jumped in to save him. It's strange to think that if this priest hadn't saved Hitler's life, history could have turned out very differently. Later in life, the priest reportedly felt bad about saving him, knowing what Hitler became. Number 7. A British soldier spared Hitler's life in World War I. During World War I, Hitler was a soldier fighting for Germany. One day, he was injured on the battlefield and a British soldier had the chance to kill him. The British soldier pointed his gun right at Hitler but decided to let him go instead. Later, Hitler found out who the soldier was by reading a newspaper article and even kept the picture of him. It's strange to think that if the British soldier had pulled the trigger, Hitler might never have started World War II. Number 8. Hitler wanted to build a museum of Jewish artifacts. Hitler had a strange and disturbing plan during World War II. He wanted to create a museum filled with Jewish artifacts after he had wiped out the Jewish people. He called it the Museum of an Extinct Race. Hitler ordered his soldiers to collect more than 200,000 items, like books, art, and personal belongings from Jewish people. These items were photographed and cataloged for his collection. It's horrifying to think he planned this museum as a way to remember the people he wanted to destroy. Number 9. Hitler never visited a concentration camp. Surprisingly, Adolf Hitler never actually visited any concentration camps during his time in power. These camps were places where millions of people were imprisoned and killed, especially Jews. Hitler was very careful to stay far away from the camps and did not want to see the terrible things happening there. Instead of writing orders down, he would only give orders verbally to avoid leaving a paper trail. This shows how much he wanted to keep his involvement hidden while still being responsible for the horrific actions taking place. Number 10. Hitler only had one testicle. A strange fact about Adolf Hitler is that he only had one testicle. This happened during World War I when he was injured in battle. Doctors say that his groin and abdomen were badly hurt, which led to the loss of one of his testicles. Although many people believe this is true, there isn't any solid proof to confirm it. This unusual detail about his health has been a topic of discussion and even jokes, but it shows that even powerful leaders can have hidden weaknesses. That's all for today. 10 things you didn't know about Adolf Hitler. Which one surprised you? Let us know in the comments.